Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is time for us to do another coveted double feature where we look at two films that came out over the weekend and have like some vague similarities to them. This time around, there was two movies that released that are extended spin-off entries in long existing franchises. We have the straight to Hulu original called Predator, Killer of Killers, the first animated Predator film, which is the sixth Predator movie. And then we have, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina, the fifth entry in the John Wick filmography, but there was also the TV show The Continental, so it could be the sixth entry in the John Wick franchise. Nonetheless, the sixth entry in these long beloved franchises are here. Let's talk about them. There's stuff to say about both of these. I think we're going to start with Predator Killer of Killers. This was announced very recently. Dan Trachtenberg, who did Prey a couple years ago, he's also directing the new Predator movie that comes out this year called Badlands. In between those, he was working on an animated Predator film. The film was always going to be straight to Hulu, which makes sense. I think one of the smartest things that the Fox merger has done with Disney and some of their properties is giving us good ideas for television for Predator and Alien. Like that Alien show looks really interesting. Animated Predator movie's a good idea. So, I mean, it's good. Like, Trachtenberg clearly cares about this property and wants to do something fun with it. You gotta commend him for that. It's been decades since the first Predator movie. And one of the things that a lot of people have been clamoring for, especially people who like read the comic books or the extended lore and stuff, is let's take Predator out of the present day. Put that concept in other places and you can get something really fun. And that is what this movie does. Killer of Killers is essentially three separate stories focusing on different characters who ultimately come together in the end to set up the next era of Predator films. This is following three separate Predators who are going on various missions throughout the history of Earth to fight the greatest warriors and combatants of the time. A brilliant idea. Now, if you were to like say, hey, you have to pick three periods in time to put a Predator in, these are probably the three periods in time I would pick. The first one is very early on in human history. It's the Viking Age, which is like such a cool idea. What if Vikings were fighting a Predator? That is sick. That is such a cool idea. I love that to no end. And the Predator that they're fighting is like really beefed up and large, and he's got like really weird weapons that are like specifically tailored to like this era. It is incredible. And the action looks really good. There is like some extended action sequences in this movie where animated segments are minutes long. And I'm like, holy shit, this looks incredible. And the style of animation, it looks really cool. Like it's very graphic and energetic. It's so well handled. Where I'm like, this is the best version of doing this movie. Could I watch an entire like 90-minute film set in like the Viking Age where somebody is fighting a Predator? Of course I could. But even just 20 minutes of that is very satisfying because it feels like we're just entering a story already taking place of this woman and her son seeking vengeance on like the people that killed their like family. It's so interesting. And then that's like the genius thing about these stories is like, how do you make a Predator movie? You tell a story already, and then you drop a Predator into it. That is how the most successful versions of these work. So we're already telling the story, and then as soon as like the climactic ending happens to that story, oh, a Predator shows up, and now the movie's different. It's brilliant. The Viking stuff's incredible. That lead character who's like using her shields to fight him off is so cool. It's awesome. Like, you're just selling me from there. I love that idea. I don't know if I can like rate the three storylines as like which one's better, because they're all so cool and doing different stuff. The Viking stuff is incredible. The next era we go to is feudal Japan because it's going to be samurais versus a Predator. That is awesome. This is the story of two brothers who have a falling out. They're seeking vengeance on each other for the things their father did to them. And as they are fighting each other, a ninja stealthy predator shows up. And then it has to be about fighting the predator. Like, it's so cool. I like the animation is consistently the same throughout all these, but the flavor feels so different. Like, we were doing aggression and this brooding feeling in the first one, and in this like second chapter that's about the samurais, it's quiet and like a silent film, just watching everything play out. Incredible. It looks so gorgeous, and like, who doesn't want to see a predator fight some samurai and ninjas? That is such a fun idea. It's a cool concept. It looks so good. And I'm just blown away. Because I'm not the biggest fan of Predator. I think the franchise is strong. There's a lot of good outings in it. There's some really bad ones too. But just the idea, like, what if there was like a feuding clan of brothers who were samurai, and then a predator had to fight them too? That is a really cool idea. It is such a fun concept. And then the third one, which is, it might be my favorite like period to tell stories in, because I find it so fascinating. It's like World War II aerial combatants, and a predator has a ship and he's fighting like soldiers in World War II, and I'm like, this is so fun. Who would have thought that? Like, what a really cool concept. And we have like this kid who's like, he wants to be a mechanic and he wants to be a pilot, and he's got to think on his feet while he's like fighting a big predator in like a big ship. Awesome. I like that we're entering this era where predator designs can all look different now. For the longest time, they all kind of had like the very distinctive look, but now they can be bigger and smaller and have distinctive facial features and stuff like that. Incredibly cool. The World War II stuff, a lot of aerial combat, it looks fantastic. It's so fun. The musical cues in this time period are incredible to hear. It is awesome. I love when a movie is like made by people who are fans of this franchise and make the stuff look really cool. We have seen recently where it's like people so obsessed with a specific franchise can't really like distinguish the differences that make it unique, so they're like just homaging. But this is all stuff we have never seen in a Predator film before. Some of it is stuff you could see in like extended comic books and whatever, but this has never been on a film. So it's like World War II when like these naval officers are sending like airplanes off to battle, and a predator shows up and like cuts off people's heads with like its weird technology. It's sick and it's awesome. And then like a kid has to fight him by jumping on his plane and like blowing up his engine. It's so unique and fun. And then we find out that this is all connected, and predators are kind of like kidnapping people that actually like kill predators and keep them in like cryostasis. They have to like team up and fight in a big pit to fight a bigger predator. It's so cool. And then for some reason they decide we're going to connect this to the stuff that happens in Prey, and I won't get into what that means, but it's brilliant because you had a really strong lead actress in Prey who was in a very specific period of time. How do you bring her to the modern times? Maybe we're going to figure that out. Maybe we're actually like building characters we can play with now because we want to see these people actually succeed. Strong, badass Viking lady, a stoic samurai, and just like a kid from World War II who knows how to like make a plane fly. And they all fight unique predators, and it's bloody and gory and feels true to this franchise, and it's the kind of thing everybody has wanted from Predator for a while. It is so cool. It's so much fun. And a breezy 85 minutes. So nice to see that. It might be, and this is crazy to say about like the 6th entry in the Predator franchise, but it's maybe in like the top 3. A lot of them have been bad though. Not a lot of them. I liked, I guess, maybe 4 of them. They're good. And this one's good too. Predator's awesome. When you do something cool with Predator, it's awesome to see that. So, Predator, Killer of Killers, I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now let's jump over to the world of John Wick. Ballerina, that's right folks. This is the first film spin-off in the John Wick franchise. A franchise that I have openly criticized and talked about before. Let's get this out of the way. I struggle immensely with this franchise. I don't know what it is. I can never connect to it. Every time I see people go to a new location and there's more characters there doing specific things, it makes my brain melt. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. nor does this movie. So there is a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happened for Ballerina. Len Weissman, who's the director, was kind of replaced, and Chad Stahelski came in and directed a lot of like the new action sequences, introduced John Wick into the larger picture, reshot a good portion of this movie. Now, to somebody who is just not like brain dead to this stuff but doesn't think about it, I don't know if you're going to notice those beats. Somebody who is actively aware of the community, like myself, and I'm going to imagine a lot of like the community that is watching this, you can really feel the beats where they did different stuff. There's a huge tonal shift between the basic stuff of just like the setup for the story and the action beats. It feels a lot like Final Reckoning in that effect, where you're like, oh, you had an idea for this location, but to get there, we had a bunch of bullshit. So this follows Eve Macaro, played by Ana de Armas. She is the daughter of this guy from a tribe, and he escaped, and then he gets killed, so she gets taken into the Ballerina people. It's Angelica Houston's people. You lost me at the beginning when there's like special rules for special tribes, and they're all doing stupid stuff. I don't like it. It's just so annoying. Whatever. Anyways, she grows up and she wants to get revenge after she learns that there's more events happening in the world that are connected to her past. It is as simple as a story can get. There is not one original idea in this film. The twists it tries to set up are so obvious. The ideas it presents are so obvious. If you are like me and you struggle with the John Wick world, seeing new wrinkles to it added on top of old ones, it makes me upset. I cannot gel with this world. Aside from some cool looking action in some sequences, there's nothing holding this together for me. The basic concept of a special hotel is annoying. The basic concept of stupid rules between this tribe and that one are annoying. I don't need to see these extra characters come in to do stuff. It does nothing for me. There's such a really annoying sequence where we're seeing the events of John Wick 3 from the perspective of Ana de Armas' character, and I'm like, who cares? Are we learning anything from this? It's just like a side story. And then for some reason, Keanu Reeves has to show up and look more bored than he's ever looked in these movies. I don't understand it, and I don't like it. There is some really nice looking cinematography when you can clearly tell Stahelski taking over, because he knows how to make these look good. He knows how to film stuff on a really good scale and like have good looking action using like the scenes around you for stuff. It's really cool. Maybe the most clear example of him being a fan of Buster Keaton, because there's like literally scenes from a Buster Keaton film in this movie, which is something. Which I get it, man. Like, you like silent film, like there's an artistry to that. That's what you're trying to accomplish here. But silent films don't have all this like extra baggage by being like the fifth entry in this franchise and like a bunch of other characters having to appear to do stuff. It gets very exhausting. And aside from, a nice looking sequence in like an Arctic village and a big like apartment skyrise in the hotel and a nightclub, oof, we're struggling here. Nobody feels like they're having a lot of fun, which I guess is the premise of this universe. Ana de Armas is an actress I am rooting for so much. I'm waiting for her to get some really good material again. I don't know if I've liked her since like Knives Out and No Time to Die, and that's been a while. This is fine. Like, you can see her really committing to this and trying to this, and I guess I don't like how much it feels like it's a career choice for her to make one of these as opposed to getting her own material that's special. She finds a way to make it her own in some capacity. That's not high praise, but it's better than other people have done in like similar circumstances. Like, you can tell she is really interested in the stunt aspect of things, and that's pretty cool. But at the same time, all of that is pretty much reshoots. So what was like the original stuff going to look like with her? Just talking to people? She is the best part of the film, though. She is the character and the actor that holds this thing together, because everyone else is just really boring and uninspired. Ian McShane and Lance Reddick do their thing. They are like the most consistent characters here, just saying the same stuff over and over again. Angelica Houston if you're interested in anything that character has to offer, good for you. The concept of the ballerina stuff, I don't really understand how that fits into the larger world, which isn't an issue. You know, I'm a fan of the film The Warriors, which is just people in colorful costumes doing stupid shit. But I think where that works is that it's just like a stupid gimmick, and this is supposed to be like about the balance of like artistry and pageantry and a bunch of crap. But the ballerina stuff doesn't come into play because she doesn't use ballerina skills in the fights. It's very weird. Like, it's not like she has to like use what she learned as like a ballerina to like fight people. She's doing that separately. So it's strange. Like, they do try to set up that her character wants to be a ballerina, but then she doesn't actually like use those skills or transfer them in any capacity. And other characters that she meets become ballerinas. It's like, okay. And Angelica Houston's like the head of that, just doing random stuff. She's cool, but the character is useless to me. And Gabriel Byrne is the villain, and that could get you some mileage if you wanted something from that. More tentative rules that piss me off. The whole like idea of like his cult / tribe. I don't understand the rules of any of this, and it's exhausting to me. Everyone in the universe is so connected to the assassin crap. I just find it so lame. Like, it should be less magical special people in this world and more regular Joes doing stuff, but everyone's connected to somebody. Norman Reedus appears in this for some reason. Is he happy? If you were to tell me he's a miserable person because he has to do this and look like this the rest of his life, I'd understand that. But I also think he likes looking like this and being this guy. I don't know if he's a good actor or not. I've never actually seen him act. He's just that. But he's interesting. And Keanu, sleepwalking through it. Like, he doesn't want to be here, but they give him one action sequence and he's like, I guess that's good enough for me. Story is contrived, the cinematography is good, and that is the best praise I can give the fifth entry in a John Wick film movie. These aren't for me. They've never really worked for me. I think they've all gotten progressively less interesting as the story went on. And this one just kept going and never felt interesting in the slightest to me. I understand like the A- cinema score. I think this is going to work for a lot of people. A lot of normie people who are like, this is exactly all I need. But I can't vibe with it. It's never something I could vibe with. I will struggle with that with every other entry because they're doing like 3 more of these movies, not Ballerina, but like John Wick adjacent films. I don't know why. They're just going to keep doing them. Keep making these little weird projects. So go for it. I don't know. But this one is not the worst John Wick film, but it really just solidified in my mind that I'm good. It is as good as a spin-off for the John Wick universe could be. And that's only because they had to get the John Wick guys in here to fix it. So, what does that tell you? I don't know if they're gonna continue on with the story of Eve Macaro, but she just became John Wick at the end of it. So maybe she'll appear in John Wick 5. Maybe. We'll see. Whew. I don't know. Some action looks good. The skating stuff with like the ice skates, that's cool. So, Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Hate that title. Don't put from the world of John Wick in there. I am going to give a 5 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.